Welcome to UJH British Cars. So I started working on the rear cockpit surround, so I want to try and get the roof rack mounted, the roof bows, which I cleaned and painted. I didn't bother to document that because me scraping paint off with a wire wheel is not very exciting. So I've got the pieces made up for the cockpit tops, and I'm working now on, I want to do today, the covers on the inside of the rear wheel arches, and we'll start thinking about the panel that covers the dog leg on the inside, and I'll show you some stuff I found that I didn't realize was there. So let's get started. So one of the things I've been playing with lately is I found tonneau cover in my pile of stuff, and I'm not sure it's gonna work. It is shrunk significantly. It's so old. So I've had it out here stretching a bit, but we're about 1.5 inches short of these studs in the front, so I'm not sure I can stretch it that much. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was interested. Someone had started to install this cover, but they didn't do it all. Like these snaps weren't here. Uh, this one wasn't here. That one wasn't there. None of the front steps were in place. But the ones that were, every one of them was mounted in the wrong direction. So these are lifted dot stud, and you'll see there's a little dot there. And what you want to do is you want to orient these, because like a tonneau cover, you take off from the door back. So the dot should be facing the way you're going to peel this off. Now, every one of these ones were in this way, which means, with the tension in like this, you're trying to struggle to get the tension off. So, and it seems like every car I've ever bought that had a replaced tonneau cover or roof, the snaps are always in wrong. So I don't know why, but they are. So anyway, that's what it is. You should start at the center. You'll see those ones face that way, these ones face this way, and then we'll go up, and then from here, starting from here, those ones face that way, and these ones face that way. They'll follow that edge back. And I was noticing too, I used to take the time to little slices for these tangs, but when these things are new, they actually push through this stuff pretty easily. Just, you know, what I do is I put the tonneau, I get it in place, I get it snug, just as it's hanging onto it, and then I mark on the top of the stud with a crayon or something onto the black. So that tells me where the position this way is. And then I just try to set them all at about the same height above the top. Now these ones were all over the place because these ones aren't mine. But typically I like to see them about like that, with just a little space between the snap and the edge of the top. And you can see that puts this right down into the curve or the body line of the piece underneath. You can see I've started some more of the surrounding cockpit caps. So these back ones are just loose. They're really not held in with much. That the roof bows bolt through there, and then when you put the rear piece in with this, there's a screw that goes through there, and you can see there's a hole in the body right there behind it. So got those ones in, got the dog legs in, and I've got a few, not really wrinkles, but lifted portions. And what it is they were flat when I left them, but as this is stretched so hard, it pulled this back a little bit. So I'm just kind of hoping as they age in, they'll flatten out a bit. And I suppose I can always take them off again and redo them at some other time, because it's a lot easier in the summertime than it is now. So today I want to get started. I want to put these side covers on. So I'll show you how to do that. So one of the things I discovered was I was putting this stud in, which is really hard to get through here, is underneath these wooden blocks. There's an access hole right there. That sure was handy. It's still a pain in the butt, but boy, it's a lot easier than trying to reach up under here and get a nut started. So here are the side covers, and there definitely is a left and a right. But this side with the square cuts is the side that goes towards the floor. And I like to use this as a synthetic. It's almost like the cotton they used to use in the old days, though it's pretty thin. But it has just a little bit of cushion to the vinyl when you bolt it down. So I'm going to fit a piece in. This stuff stretches a lot, so I'll probably just be able to put a piece in, and we'll just tack it in with some glue. I just found my corner on this, and I'm just going to lay it in here roughly, and then I'm going to use just a felt tip marker to mark it so we can cut it to size. You can see I just marked it out just loosely. This doesn't have to be very exact. It's just something close, so they're not fooling around with a couple of yards of material, which is kind of a pain in the butt if you do that. So you got the piece cut out, and then I'm going to use this because it's spray on. It's a lot easier on these fabrics rather than using a brush. This is Permatex Body Shop Heavy Duty Carpet and Headliner. I gotta admit, it's still, with a lot of heat, it'll still come undone. A lot more heat than a lot of these other things will stand, but they're still hard to beat. They brush on contact cement. Anyway, gonna spray the arch, spray the back side of that, wait a couple of minutes, and put it in place. You want to dry fit it to start with, and then I put a couple of marks here with the felt pen where this bead is going to go. So my plan, I'm going to spray this edge. I'm not going to spray down here, and get that set and get the bead where I want it. And then after that's all done, I'll go back and glue this. So here's the first bit laid in. And next time I think I'm going to mark top and bottom. I should do a couple of marks along the way because it's hard to see where it's at. Fortunately, with this soft material underneath, you can make adjustments in it because it just stretches the fabric. So I'm going to go and spray this now and get the rest of it together. And there it is. Still a little wrinkly. I'll work on getting some more of those wrinkles out, but because it'll shrink with age too. And I made a couple of relief cuts on this edge. This is the other side, but you can see I drew the line in and I got that where I wanted it, and I sprayed it into place. And you probably could use a little more glue. Again, I'm going to do this half and then we'll do the underside. Get that seam lined up where I wanted it. Start at the top, roll it in, and try to get a little bit of stretch into the material. Make sure this is really where you want it, because once it touches this stuff, it doesn't want to come undone, and that other stuff isn't very strong, so if you try to pull it apart, it just shreds the material. Make some relief cuts here. Make sure you don't cut down too far so it shows on the inside of the body. Spraying just the fabric a little bit and the metal a little bit on this edge so that you can stretch it, put it in place. Probably should have let that glue dry a little bit more. And we can fold this up more. The glue pot's almost empty. So let that dry for a minute and then we'll put it in place. So here's the dog leg put in place. And when I took this apart, there was a beading right here underneath. As you can see, these new panels aren't designed for that, which is probably the difference between a TR2 and a TR3. So I don't think I'm going to bother to try to make a bead. But you can see how that closes all that in. And then one thing we'll have to do, these are the holes for the roof bows. So we need to put some holes in this place, this piece, to match that. So it's a big steel plate, so we can make the holes probably ½ inch. So we got a little bit of wiggle room to make adjustments, and then these panels will get attached with screws like these side panels were done. Oh, I stand corrected. I didn't notice there was a slot here, so that's good. Makes life a lot easier for me. Well, there it is, all in place. Be careful when you do, particularly this line of screws, that the steel web isn't that big right there. Remember, there's a couple of big oval holes going along the edge, so you got to kind of watch out for that. And I was kind of curious whether this piece went on top of the edging or the coping went on top of that piece. And the pictures from the original TR2 book, TR2 3, shows them that way around. So I guess because there's a raised edge on the copings, but that's where this falls in to kind of make it blend, I guess. Anyway, but there it is. And these are a little wrinkly, but there's so much you can do to stretch them as you're putting them in on top of that soft fabric. But as time goes on, this will shrink and they'll look better. So I hope you enjoyed all that. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and join, and we'll see you next time.